Welcome to Chicago, Illinois, a city where history bleeds into the skyline, music hums from the alleyways, and every bite of pizza tells a story. Nestled on the shores of Lake Michigan, Chicago is more than just a big American city. It's a survivor, a trendsetter, and a living museum of triumph and tragedy. Let's rewind. Chicago began its journey as a humble trading post in the early 1800s, named after a Native American word Chickaqua, meaning wild onion or garlic. But its growth was anything but mild. By the late 19th century, Chicago had exploded into a bustling metropolis. Then, in 1871, the unthinkable happened. The Great Chicago Fire. A small blaze allegedly started in a barn swallowed over 3 square miles of the city. Nearly 100,000 residents were left homeless. Yet from the ashes, Chicago did something remarkable. It rebuilt. And not just with bricks and mortar, but with steel and ambition. Soon, skyscrapers pierced the sky here for the first time in human history. In the 1920s and 30s, Chicago took on a darker identity. It became the stronghold of organized crime during Prohibition. The name Al Capone still echoes in the corridors of the city's haunted past. Known as Scarface, Capone turned Chicago into a battlefield of bootlegged booze, bribed officials, and public shootouts. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre in 1929, where 7 rival gang members were executed in cold blood, became a symbol of just how wild the Windy City could get. Even now, some claim the ghosts of gangland victims still roam old speakeasies and hidden tunnels beneath the city. But where there's grit, there's groove. Chicago is also the birthplace of blues music and a mecca for jazz, gospel, and later, house music. Legends like Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, and Buddy Guy once played smoky Southside clubs, electrifying crowds and changing the sound of America. And today, from underground venues to major festivals like Lollapalooza, Chicago still pulses with rhythm. The people who live here, fiercely proud. Chicagoans are known for their resilience, hospitality, and no-nonsense attitude. It's a melting pot of cultures: African American, Irish, Mexican, Polish, Italian, Chinese, and more, all living in a beautifully chaotic urban symphony. You'll hear local phrases like "Da Bears" for their beloved football team, the L referring to the elevated train, or "Jeet Yet." Translation: Did you eat yet? Speaking of food, Chicago is a culinary heavyweight. First stop, deep dish pizza. This isn't your average slice. It's a thick, cheesy, saucy masterpiece served in a pie-like crust. Places like Lou Malnati's or Giordano's serve it hot and heavy. Then there's the Chicago-style hot dog, dragged through the garden with yellow mustard, onions, relish, tomato slices, a pickle spear, sport peppers, and celery salt, all on a poppy seed bun. Never ketchup. You'll also want to try Italian beef sandwiches dipped in gravy and piled high with sweet or spicy peppers. And don't miss Garrett's Popcorn Mix, a sweet and salty combo of caramel and cheese popcorn that locals swear by. The main language spoken here is English, but Spanish, Polish, and Chinese are also widely heard in neighborhoods that reflect the city's global roots. Weather in Chicago, it's a wild ride. Winters are brutally cold and windy, hence the nickname the Windy City. Temperatures often dip below freezing with lake-effect snowstorms. But summers? Pure magic. Warm, breezy days with bustling beaches along Lake Michigan, music festivals in every corner, and locals soaking up every second of sunshine. Getting around is easy thanks to the Chicago Transit Authority, CTA. The L train zips above ground in a network of color-coded lines that crisscross the city, and buses fill in the gaps. The VentraCard makes public transit smooth and affordable. For those who prefer to drive, beware. Parking downtown is expensive, and traffic during rush hour can be intense. But bikes and rideshares are everywhere. Chicago is a city of contradictions. Gritty yet beautiful, historic yet modern, hardened yet welcoming. It's where jazz meets justice, where neighborhoods are fiercely loyal, and where every corner has a story that shaped America. From the mafia to the music, from its diverse people to its unbeatable food, Chicago doesn't just live in the past, it uses it as fuel to drive forward. Here are some fun facts that even seasoned travelers might not know. Chicago reversed the flow of its river in 1900, an engineering marvel to protect its drinking water from pollution. It's home to the first ever skyscraper built in 1885, the Home Insurance Building, which stood 10 stories tall. The city has over 600 parks and 26 miles of lakefront along Lake Michigan. Route 66, America's most iconic road trip highway, starts in downtown Chicago at Grant Park. Chicago dyes its river bright green every St. Patrick's Day, drawing crowds from around the world. Now let's talk about must-see attractions that are more than just postcard perfect. Start with Millennium Park, where the iconic Cloud Gate sculpture, nicknamed The Bean, reflects the city's skyline like a dream. Just a short walk away is the Art Institute of Chicago, home to one of the world's greatest collections of Impressionist art. Head to Navy Pier for rides, shops, and lake views, or take in 360-degree vistas from the sky deck at Willis Tower, formerly Sears Tower, once the tallest building in the world. If you're brave, step out onto the glass ledge and look 1,353 feet straight down. Craving something offbeat? Explore the Chicago Cultural Center with its breathtaking stained glass dome, or visit the historic Pullman District, a planned worker community that played a key role in labor rights history. Bonus information for savvy travelers. The Chicago Greeter program offers free guided walking tours with locals who will show you hidden gems. Many world-class museums like the Field Museum and Museum of Science and Industry offer free admission days for Illinois residents, worth checking in advance. You can take a Chicago Architecture River Cruise, which many say is the best way to see the city. It tells the story of Chicago through its spectacular buildings. Now, here's a challenge for all my viewers. When you visit Chicago, try to eat deep dish pizza, ride the L train, take a selfie at the Bean, and learn a local phrase like Chi-Town or The Loop. Post your pics or stories online and tag my channel. I'll feature the best ones in an upcoming episode. Let me share a quick personal story. On my first trip to Chicago, I got caught in a sudden summer storm while walking along Navy Pier. Everyone scattered, but instead of running, I ducked into a jazz bar I didn't even plan to visit. Inside, a local band was playing old school blues, and I ended up staying for hours. I met a retired firefighter born and raised in Southside Chicago who told me, "This city has been through hell, but we always bounce back. That's what makes us Chicago strong." Another moment that stuck with me was visiting DuSable Museum of African American History, where I learned about the city's role in the civil rights movement. The legacy of people like Harold Washington, the city's first black mayor, still shapes Chicago's politics and spirit today. Chicago is also no stranger to famous events. In 2008, it became the hometown of the first African-American U.S. President, Barack Obama, who gave his historic victory speech in Grant Park. The city's also witnessed triumphs in sports, like the Chicago Cubs breaking the 108-year curse of the Billy Goat to win the 2016 World Series, an emotional victory that united the entire city in celebration. Locals are full of pride, and you'll often hear quotes like, "We don't do small here. Everything in Chicago is bold." If you can handle a Chicago winter, you can handle anything. It's not the Windy City because of the breeze, it's because of the politics. So what are you waiting for? Whether you're in it for the deep dish, the deep history, or the deep grooves of blues and jazz, Chicago is a city that will move you. Have you ever been to Chicago? What's your favorite part, or what are you dying to see first? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and share my channel for more fantastic travel stories that take you from your couch to the coolest corners of the world. Your next adventure is just one click away.